Well, today we're diving into three true stories where that exact feeling turned out to be the prelude to an actual nightmare. We're going to deconstruct what happens when that voice is telling you the truth. Seriously, think about it for a second. When you're in your own home, maybe on vacation, or even in a massive crowd, that prickle on the back of your neck, it's this primal thing, an instinct we're usually told is just us being paranoid. But what if it's not? What happens when you're right? So, all three of our stories start in these amazing places. You know, the kind of spots you go to escape, to just relax. But that's the thing. That's what makes them so dangerous. The illusion of safety is so powerful that when it shatters, it's way, way more terrifying. Okay, first up, we're going to Coachella. Just picture it. This massive, chaotic, beautiful world of music and lights. The person telling the story called it a fairy tale world. It's a place where you're supposed to be carefree, where all your worries just kind of melt away. I mean, it's the perfect place to let your guard down, right? Next, we're on a family vacation in San Diego. Imagine this gorgeous villa right on the sand with a guest room that has this perfect postcard view of the ocean. It's supposed to be the dream summer trip, a place where you're just making happy memories. And for our last one, a quiet little couples retreat out in Palm Springs. It's one of those modern, super private Airbnbs right on the edge of the desert. The whole point of the place, what it promised, was total privacy, a secluded spot to just chill by the pool, totally away from everything and everyone. So, in each of these picture-perfect spots, something starts to feel off. And it starts really small, just a tiny detail that doesn't fit, or a sound you can't quite place. These are those first whispers from your gut telling you something is very, very wrong. And this is where the pattern starts to show up. At the festival, it's the same guy, dark hair, black shirt, popping up again and again, in a crowd of thousands. At the beach house, when they look back at their photos, there's a strange figure in the background of not just one, but every single picture. And out in the desert, it's not a one-off noise. It's thumps and faint voices, 2 nights in a row. See, these aren't just coincidences, they're repeating. And boom, here it is. This is the moment, isn't it? We doubt ourselves so fast. This quote from the person at Coachella just perfectly nails that feeling. Her friend laughs it off, and that just reinforces that urge we all have to find a logical explanation, anything to avoid sounding like you're crazy. This is that battle that goes on inside your head, the rationalization trap. On one side, you've got these perfectly good explanations that make you feel better. Oh, it's just the drugs, or it's a crowded beach, what do you expect? But on the other side, you've got the cold, hard facts of a pattern, a systematic presence that just defies logic. And this is the moment you have to decide. Do you trust your gut, or do you trust the easy answer? But that creepy feeling of being watched, well, it doesn't just stay a feeling. Eventually, that unseen threat decides to step out of the shadows. It becomes real, immediate, and absolutely terrifying. The whole what-if game is over. Now it's what now? Back at Coachella, the escalation is just textbook creepy. The man closes the distance. He starts by trying to act all friendly, trying to dance, but then he gets pushy. But the real tell, the really chilling part, is that the second her friend wanders off, he's right there, eagerly offering to help her find them. It's a switch from just watching to actively trying to isolate her. In San Diego, that boundary is completely erased. The stalker from the photos shows up at the window, gives a little wave, and then runs up the stairs. The narrator hears the front door open, and then the handle on their own bedroom door starts jerking back and forth violently. The danger isn't outside anymore. It's in the house with them. And in Palm Springs, the terror just builds and builds with this sequence. It's not a random light flickering. It is a clear, deliberate path. Each motion light goes on one after another, tracing someone's exact movements around their totally isolated house, all while the couple is trapped inside, just watching. So the narrator in Palm Springs just has enough. He grabs a kitchen knife and he decides he's going to check it out. He steps outside into the dead silent desert night, and there they are, clear shoe prints in the sand. But they don't lead away from the house. They lead straight to a little storage shed in the yard, and they stop right at the door. He's standing there, just a few feet from the shed, holding his breath, listening. And then, from inside, he hears this. It's a calm, polite, totally normal-sounding voice. The sheer casualness of it is what makes it so incredibly skin-crawling. And if that wasn't horrifying enough, After that polite request, there's a small, quiet laugh. And that laugh changes everything. It confirms this is not someone who needs help. This is a predator who is playing a game. The narrator turns and runs. So after the immediate danger is over, after the police have been called, a whole different kind of horror starts to creep in. It's that psychological battle. You start questioning everything. Did that actually happen? Am I going crazy? And in that moment, you are desperate for something, anything, to prove you're not. And you can see how easily these could all be brushed off, can't you? A bad trip at a festival, an overactive imagination looking at some weird photos, a windy night in the desert. It would almost be a relief to believe it was all in your head, but the evidence tells a completely different story. And here it is, the undeniable proof. In the Coachella Airbnb, they find muddy boot prints leading straight to the bedroom doorway, where the narrator saw the figure standing. At the beach house, the police discover a hidden camera tucked away in a corner. And in Palm Springs, they find a dirty baseball hat behind the couch that didn't belong to them. It proved the intruder wasn't just lurking outside, he had been inside the house. The fear was 100% real. You know, an experience like this doesn't just go away when the person leaves. It fundamentally changes you. It rewires your brain, and it can leave you in this state of hypervigilance. You're just constantly on high alert, always scanning your surroundings for threats, whether they're real or not. Your sense of safety is just gone. And this is what that actually looks like. The narrator from the Coachella story says that even today, years later, the very first thing she does, without even thinking about it, when she walks into a room, is check the doorway. One single night of terror created a habit that's lasted a lifetime. That's the echo that trauma leaves behind. So all this kind of leaves us with one last, really unsettling thought. That thump you just dismissed as the house settling, that shadow you saw in the corner of your eye and told yourself was just a trick of the light, what if it wasn't? What sound have you ignored in the dark?